I'm Johno from Black Iris, and I'm here today with Josh Weebow from Testing 123 Reviews. And we're going to be going through my rig today, like how I have it set up for gigs and that. I'm going to go sort of through about MIDI switching, you know, what effects I'm using, and just how I get my sound live. So let's hope you get something from it. So the amp that I use on stage and for recording is the trusty Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. Josh has already done a video on this, so all the vital statistics of it are on that video, but they're really good versatile amps, and one of the main reasons I bought it was the MIDI selecting around the back, which we'll move on to now. Okay, so this is the back of the Mesa. This is where the magic happens, really. So you've got your typical different speaker output levels, kind of standard, and then you've got different switches there, but the main thing that I use around the back here is the effects loop. This bit here has just made gigging so much easier. So what I do is I just run my effects, like my chorus and delay, and occasionally a whammy pedal, through the effects loop like you normally would do. So you know you have your sends and your returns for the effects, but it's this bit here that makes a difference. Basically, on the Mesa you can assign the effects loop to a channel. So as soon as I switch that channel, it instantly has the effects loop on it. So I normally have it set to my clean. So say if I'm doing some dirty riff and I want to go straight into like a clean ambient tone, I just click one button on my foot switch and bam, it's done 3 jobs in one. But then the handy thing as well is that I can also have the effects loop assignable on the actual foot switch. Basically it has a button that says effects, so if I'm doing a lead or a solo and I want, you know, some delay or chorus or some effects on it, I can just literally press the effects button down, and once again it engages all of my effects. And then these two here just literally the volumes of the effects going in and out of the amp. But you know, it's incredible how much difference that this makes to me live. It completely cuts out the pedal board tap dance, as I like to call it. So yeah, so if we look at my pedal board, it might start to make a bit more sense. Now, so this is my pedal board. It's quite compact, which is nice and easy. So I'll start with the front basically. I've got my wireless pack, which basically is like a cable. So I have it going straight into my tuner, and then that goes straight into my wah pedal. Normally I don't have a preamp boost live, but we just thought today it'd be a bit of fun to stick one in front of it. So normally it would just go, you know, wireless pack into tuner, into wah pedal, then straight to the front of the head. And because I have, you know, because this is so much easier, I don't have to worry about things like noise gates or anything like that. Because I find that noise gates really do affect the sound. I tend to try and avoid them. And just because I've got the one effect running through the front of the head, it alleviates that. Now this bit here, you know, people think I have a lot of pedals, but it's pretty straightforward. I've got my Digitech whammy pedal. That's kind of there if I want to do some, like, you know, quite disturbing corn tones. You know, they're really eerie, creepy tones. But that doesn't get used too much, but it looks pretty cool on the board. And then these are my sort of 2 main ambient effects. I use a Boss Super Chorus, a Boss DD3 delay pedal, which they're both really good sturdy pedals. Now I have these on all the time. I don't have to switch them at all. Most of my switching is either on the wah pedal and the actual Mesa Bigfoot foot switch. So when I have it on my clean tones, these are instantly on, but then when I hit it to my rock channel, my heavy channel, because the effect loop's been assigned just to the clean channel, they completely disappear. I get a really tight, crunchy, you know, riffing tone. But then say if I am doing some sort of like leads or solos and that, and I want these effects on it, I can just click the effects button down and then they engage again. And you know, literally all I have to do is just press 3 buttons during a show, and it just makes life so much easier. So I guess now if we run through some tones, and we'll go through some foot switches, and I'll show you kind of how much easier it's made my life. So in this bit here I'm going to run through how my effects work. So I'm going to start off with some clean channel and then move on to the heavier channel, so then you can hear how the effects loop disengages when I click down my rock channel. So yeah, let's play some nice clean bits for you. I just literally pressed one button and it did all the work for me, so that's made my life a hell of a lot easier. So when I'm sort of doing leads and that, I do like to add quite a bit of ambient effect. So when I've got my distortion channel on, you know, there's not really much to it. You know, I don't use any reverb or anything, so it's quite a tight, crunchy tone. But when I want to add the ambience, I just literally click the effects button down, and then it engages the delay pedal and the chorus pedal, so you get a much more, you know, open, you know, you can hear the chorus just kicking in there. So you can hear it adds a lot more depth to what I'm playing. There are some instances where I'd want a slightly longer delay. So unfortunately, because I only have the one delay pedal, I do have to manually bend over and, you know, jack it up. But it just kind of makes it sustain for days. And even when I switch the volume off, you can still hear it's repeating what I played. So that's pretty cool. It makes them sound quite haunting. Like one of my new tunes, Wolf at the Door. That's got that. I use as well, which I suppose has kind of come from the Guthrie Govins way of playing, is that I really use my pickup selector a lot. So when I'm doing my dirty riffing, it's generally the bridge pickup. That's where you get all the nice dooms. That's where you get all those from, which is pretty sweet. Everyone needs to learn to do those. But then when I'm doing my clean channel, because it's quite a bitey, aggressive pickup, you know, when you're sort of naturally wanting to overdrive, I just clip it over one, so it's kind of split between the two pickups, and it's a lot less intense. It's a lot of it's a lot more. It's just nice nice to listen to because I like when my dirty stuff's dirty. I like it to be aggressive, but I like my clean stuff to be really crystal clean and ambient. But that's just my personal taste. Then I guess the next thing to look at is what I do for when I solo, really. So when I'm soloing, you know, dirty channel as always. I'm not in a jazz band, so I've got to have some overdrive in there. And normally I'll just use the effects to, you know, add more depth to the solo. And with the chorus, you got sort of an instant kind of Zakk Wylde vibe about it. Normally live, I'll just bosh the solo button down on the pedal board to get some extra volume, but today we thought we'd have a bit of fun with some with the BB preamp, so that's pretty cool. Just add a bit more to it, but there's not enough room on my pedal board live, so that's why I generally don't use it. You've got to kind of sometimes compromise between, you know, the room you've got on your pedal board and the equipment that you have. And then my ultimate favourite pedal, which is, you know, if I could only have one pedal, this would be it. It's my Jerry Cantrell wah pedal. I've tried loads of wah pedals in the past, and I found a lot of them to be really top-endy, and just didn't really have any, you know, that nice chewiness about it. And I just found that the Jerry Cantrell's got the best sort of... Every good wah pedal, you have to have the good wah face. So whenever you click it down, you've got to, you know, got to get this on the go. So yeah. Every good wah pedal should come with a good wah face. Another effect that I used, like I was saying about earlier, was these effects like Korn uses, real like, you know, creepy, you know, almost toy box effect. And now for this, I kind of break my own rule. I do go back to the bridge pickup to give it that extra bit of top end, because that's where the creepiness comes from. So with the whammy pedal down, you get this kind of noise. And it's quite eerie, especially with all the delay in chorus. You know, it's pretty haunting, like. I try and kind of get that kind of like spacey, hate to say the word synthy sound, but it's that kind of vibe. You know, you get some real sort of cool. Dimension X kind of sounds. I'm taking on a journey through time and space with this thing. But yeah, I don't really use that much. That's just kind of more of a little cheeky bonus. So now I guess I should probably talk about my guitar. Its name, it's a Fender, but I like to call it Emmy Lou because it's a little bit country because it's a Fender Telecaster. These for me are amazing touring guitars because they can withstand being in the back of a van, you know, being slung about on stage and that. I'm a bit of a excitable person on stage, and the poor thing gets swung about and gets some war wounds and belt rash all over it. But it's never failed me. It's always been a really good, sturdy guitar. Some of the things that I've had done to it, you know, obviously I've had the pickups changed. When I bought it just had a single coil in there. And as all good metalheads know, a mere single coil has not got the power that you need. So I stuck a T-Zone DiMarzio hot rail in there, and it's just made all the difference, you know. Anything from, you know, riffing, you know, a lot of people think, oh, to get a good metal sound, it has to be an EMG, but, you know, I think if you've got a decent head and a good guitar with, you know, decent pickups, you don't have to have one specific type of pickup. The next one is the PFA Joe, which once again is DiMarzio. I think it's the Satriani signature one, and I really like that for solos because I don't normally use, you know, preamps or mid boosters. I find it's got that nice mid range to it. So when I am soloing, it gets that extra bit of chewiness that I want. And also with a lot of the pickups I go for ones that are more clarity, like things like the super distortions. I find just are a bit too gainy, and and I kind of like to go for more of a clarity with my tone. Other things that I've had done, I had bigger frets put on. The frets that were on there were sort of typical Fender ones, and they were a little bit too small for my liking. I used to find that I used to pull the strings off, you know, when you're sort of doing bends and that, or vibrato. I used to end up pulling the strings off the fretboard, especially the sort of, well, mainly the high, I suppose I'm in D, so high D string would get, you know, pulled off, and I'd end up with that sound rather than a nice vibrato. And the next thing is I've had the neck shaved, because I find playing with guitars with lacquered necks, it's like trying to play through treacle. You can't really, you know, slide around the neck as fast as you want, especially if you're doing sort of like sweeping and slides and taps and that. And I find with Fender, they do heavily lacquer everything, so it's just good to kind of get rid of that. But apart from that, it's, you know, it's pretty standard. I don't use Floyds anymore, because I've you know, used to play guitars with Floyds, and they would regularly, you know, when you're touring, unless you've got your own guitar tech or you can be bothered, they generally mess you around a bit. So I like guitars with good solid bridge, you know, one chunk of massive wood, another chunk of massive wood attached to it, and that's it. You know, the only thing that can go wrong is your playing. So you know, there's no tricks or anything to hide behind, and that's it. That's my rig. It's a pretty good one. I like it.